So Piastri navigates his way around that corner perfectly, and there's a yellow flag as Lando Norris has potentially crashed a car in turn 5 and is out, has brought the red flag out, and Lando Norris has crashed in Q3 and will not be starting anywhere near the front row. He will be starting from 10th minimum, as a red flag clearly indicates that he is out of this qualifying session. Oscar Piastri just got across the start-finish line there to set a 27.560 before the red flag was thrown. But Lando Norris, the driver who has made multiple mistakes in every single qualifying session thus far, would suspect and do agree with, I guess, has done the cardinal sin of crashing this car. I suspected there would be a crash in qualifying, but I suspected it would be by a rookie, not by the experienced Lando Norris, as I'm waiting to see the TV coverage as Lando is indeed in the wall. The car is battered on the left-hand side. What has he done? Lando Norris pushing it through Q3, and well, the left rear is bent in. Lando reports he's okay. But oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What has happened there? Lando Norris has crashed through the first sector. But here we go. Who can potentially steal pole position here? You do suspect it is Piastri's to take. He is the sole McLaren remaining out there, and the McLaren does look supreme. However, George Russell was indicating and showing there that he could steal provisional pole from the McLaren of Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen, do not rule him out as well. He'll be sniffing an opportunity at minimum for starting on the front row. Could he steal pole position here like he did in Suzuka? Lots of permutations still here, guys. Ferrari sniffing an opportunity as well. Maybe Kimi Antonelli, who has not been to the races again here this weekend at when it comes to practice sessions, but when qualifying comes around, he really does dig deep. So let's see what is going to occur. The only drivers out there at the moment are Carlos Sainz, Gasly and Verstappen. Gasly is on U set, as is Carlos Sainz. Verstappen is on a brand new set. So Sainz and Gasly are on U sets. Of course, they're looking to be kind of the best of the rest and trying to maybe beat Yuki Tsunoda as well. However, Yuki has looked pretty solid here this weekend. But we'll keep an eye on Carlos Sainz's progression here, though. He is looking in his second successive Q3 session here. Let's see what the Williams driver can do. He is going to out-qualify his teammate who failed to make it out of Q2. And, well, he is definitely going to be starting higher than 10th place, because that will go to Lando Norris, barring any penalties. So here we go. Carlos Sainz has navigated his way through that section where Lando Norris crashed his car, as has Pierre Gasly. Max Verstappen will keep an eye on his lap time, as he's the only driver out there on a fresh set of softs. As Sainz makes his way to turn 13 to set up the second sector, and Sainz has set a 32.481. So that is not particularly quick there for Carlos Sainz at all. And yeah, this will not be a banker lap for him. So let's move back from Sainz and Gasly, and let's keep an eye on Verstappen, shall we? A 31.829 for him. That is about a tenth or so off of his fastest first sector time he has set here thus far. But you can see there from Oscar Piastri's lap time of 31.885, it is quicker than Oscar Piastri in this session. It was quicker than George Russell's as well. So Max Verstappen making his way through Sector 2, full throttle here as he approaches the very fast chicane of 22, 23, 24. Let's see how he handles here. We have seen crashes here in the past. Lance Stroll last year binned it into turn 23 as Max makes his way through the middle sector, and it's a 27.7. So it's neck and neck pretty much. He seems to be actually a little bit behind Oscar Piastri. He lost about a tenth there on Piastri in the middle sector, but it's about this last corner. Max, the corner he binned it at a few years ago in 2021, the lap that never was, but he's done well to get through there this time around. What is it for Max Verstappen? Can he go in provisional pole? He can, by 1,000th of a second. 1,000th of a second. 27.559 for Max Verstappen, 27.560 for Oscar Piastri. What fine margins doesn't even describe it. Oh my goodness, that is close. That is very, very close right there. 1,000th. That car will be repairable, so if you're a Norris fan, he will be able to start the race tomorrow. As George Russell has gone fastest in the first sector here. A 31.684 for him, a purple in the first sector. Antonelli not able to improve, a 32.164 for him. That is a good few hundredths separating George Russell from Verstappen in Sector 1. Of course, Oscar Piastri is finishing his outlap and will be starting his flying lap very shortly as he comes to the last corner. But George Russell on his way here potentially to a provisional pole through the middle sector, and he's lost a bit of time in the middle sector there. A 27.577, but you are talking, but that time is still quicker than Piastri and anyone else behind him in the form of Verstappen and Piastri. George Russell is charging his way here to a pole position at Jeddah. It's all about the last corner for George Russell. Foot to the throttle here. It's foot down to the floor, on the gas, to the start finish line. George Russell, where does he go? Is it provisional pole? It is by 1.5 tenths, a 1:27.407 for him. But let's stay tuned with Oscar Piastri. Can he respond? A 1:27.560 from him. He needs to make up a 1/10.5, as does Max Verstappen as well, as he's starting his lap and he's getting a cheeky toe from Tsunoda down the start finish straight as Tsunoda goes into P5. As Oscar Piastri goes faster by 0.5 tenth on George Russell in the first sector. It is going to be so tight here in the closing stages of this session. No one else is going to be able to improve. That is it for George Russell with 44 seconds remaining on this timer clock for Q3. That is it for George. It's a waiting game for him now. How about Oscar? Is it a purple in the middle sector? No, he's lost some time in the middle sector. He's neck and neck between McLaren and Mercedes. Russell versus Piastri here. Do not rule out Verstappen either, as Verstappen's gone faster in the first sector. But let's stay with Piastri, as Verstappen has just dunked a 10th on Piastri and Russell in the first sector. Piastri might not even the front row, might not even make the front row as he's currently going. Piastri across the start finish line. Where does he go? First by a 10th, a mega last sector for Piastri puts him at the top of the timing screens there on provisional pole with a 27.304, and Verstappen has lost a bit of time in the middle sector, but I think that pretty much balances out there. It's also neck and neck between Piastri and Verstappen, so it's gone from Russell versus Piastri to Verstappen versus Piastri. And where can Verstappen get? He'll be thinking about pole position right now. He doesn't think about front row. This is all about Verstappen making the use of McLaren's misfortunes, and Verstappen goes fastest by 1/100th of a second. Max Verstappen is on pole position for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix tomorrow at Jeddah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sainz up into P6 ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Yuki Tsunoda in P8. Gasly is P9. Oh my God. Max Verstappen has done it again. He's done it again. Oh my goodness, Max Verstappen digging deep at Jeddah. That Red Bull, that peaky Red Bull, he's on pole position. Piastri, he wants clean air. Well, he's going to have to do it the hard way and get past Verstappen down into turn 1. I'm just watching the TV coverage. Verstappen was inches, not even inches, away from last position. Oh my goodness, what a qualifying. Oh my God. Oh my God. Breathe, everyone. Breathe. Max Verstappen.